is it?
Yep.
I'm Lexie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and why you're here today.
Well, I'm a college student at SUNY Oneonta. I'm involved on campus. Well, I'm a mass communications major with a journalism minor. And I'm also involved with the club hockey team, and I'm on the men's tennis team.
Oh wow, that's a lot. You're on hockey and tennis.
Yep.
Oh wow, so you must be pretty busy then.
Yeah, we have some priority for our scheduling, just so we have time between our classes and practices. But yeah, so I just came straight here today. Busy day of classes.
Yeah, busy day, huh? How's the weather out there? Is it still cold?
Yeah, it's getting colder, but
Yeah.
it's upstate New York for you.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds like you're a busy guy.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about why you're here and what you think you want to get out of this.
Well, I came to you just because I'm actually adopted, and I'm not too sure of my biological history. And I received notice from through some test results from my doctor saying that I had high cholesterol. And being as busy as I am, I should probably do a bit better of eating more or finding healthier alternatives as it is. But I should probably, receiving this news that I have high cholesterol, I should probably find a way to deal with it.
Oh wow, I'm so sorry. Well, high cholesterol doesn't really mean that you're at risk for anything too serious yet, because you're still young. So we can definitely find a strategy that'll work for you. Could you go through a typical day and what you eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, that sort of thing?
Sure. I mean, I'm not too much of a morning person, I guess you could say. But,
Nobody is.
Yeah.
I'm not either.
But honestly, I probably have on a usual day maybe 1 or 2 cups of coffee.
Okay. And that's just a breakfast, too?
Just at breakfast.
Okay.
Usually some cereal, the occasional bacon, every couple of days possibly. I've been trying to wane down on that.
Okay,
eggs,
so you don't think that bacon's a good choice for you?
Well, I started to think that it wasn't a good option for me when I found the news out that I was of high cholesterol. But
Okay.
yeah, it's still in my diet.
Okay, so you're eating the bacon and you're eating that with the eggs for breakfast and
Yeah.
the coffee and everything. Okay, so
Yeah.
what about your lunch? What about that?
For lunch, usually I'm in a crunch to go from class to practice or vice versa for workouts. So sometimes I'll have what I think is a high protein snack of just peanut butter jelly sandwiches or something quick, maybe some fruit, maybe some more cereal. Granola bars are good. I'm usually just grazing all day between classes, so that's usually what I do for lunch.
Okay, so you're eating the one sandwich is your main meal, and then you're adding some fruit some days, is what I got out of that?
Yeah.
And then the granola bars throughout the day. How many granola bars did you say you eat?
I would say on average maybe 2 a day.
2 a day?
Yeah.
Okay. And any other snacks? You said grazing?
Maybe some trail mix.
Trail mix, okay.
Yeah.
Those are all good. Yeah, and what about your dinner?
For dinner, I'll usually have something a bit more elaborate. I'll go between chicken or fish, and then possibly some, even though it's a little bit higher in sodium, it's easier to make that rice, the Zabaranth rice, or whatever different type of rice.
Okay, so usually a quick meal for dinner too. You have the quick lunch and the quick dinner.
Kind of forced to. So.
Okay, and what times would you say you're eating? Are you eating every couple hours, or is it spaced out a little bit more than that?
Well, if we're going to take out the grazing aspect of my day, then in the morning, probably for breakfast, it would be about 10 o'clock. Breakfast usually on average. For lunch, probably a little bit later, so maybe like 1 or 2. And then dinner a little bit later as well, so maybe between like 7 or 8.
7 or 8. Okay, so they're pretty spaced out, and you got your snacks in between. So it sounds like you're eating fairly well for the most part. And what about your physical activity and your exercise?
Well, when I'm in season, usually the classes kind of keep me. When I'm out of season for tennis, hockey starts up. So we don't have as many practices for hockey, but I'm at least exercising 3 to 4 times a week for about 2 hours or so.
Would you say that's strenuous exercise, moderate, or
pretty strenuous exercise?
Okay,
yeah.
so wow, you're exercising a lot. Good for you. Like,
Yeah,
not all of us can do that. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not a runner, so I gotta go to the gym.
Not a runner. So some key things I saw in your diet were the eggs and the bacon. Those are a little bit higher fat and higher cholesterol. So I'm going to give you a list here, and I'll have you look it over. And this is an example of some heart healthy guidelines to follow.
Okay.
Since high cholesterol is one of those leading factors for heart disease, it's something we should be aware of and we should look at. Do you think that that's something that worries you, heart disease?
Oh, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
especially because I'm not too familiar with my genetic history.
Yeah.
Definitely something I want.
Definitely, yeah. It's scary. You don't know what's in your genes. So
Yep.
being aware and being cautious is a great first step. So yeah, great that you're here.
Yeah.
So look that over a little bit and tell me a little bit about how you're feeling with the different choices that are on the list. They compare a few of the choices on how to cook things and what kind of grains to pick and that sort of thing.
I think maybe it would be definitely beneficial to do some meat substitutes. I don't know
Meat
whether it would be some sort of like tofu or something like that, or something like tempeh.
Yeah, that would be a great substitute. It's lower in that saturated fat and higher in that protein, which would be great for you since you're so active.
Right.
So that's a great choice. Do you think you'd be able to do that on a daily basis, or?
I think it would take a little time to
Yeah.
integrate into my diet, but I definitely see that as like a definitely plausible thing to do.
Okay, and in your diet, if you look on there, it says that you should be having about 2 servings of vegetables in a day, and from what you told me, I didn't hear a whole lot of vegetables.
Right, yeah, that's another thing. It's every other day type of thing, at least with
At dinner.
Yeah.
Okay. And what type of vegetables are you usually eating with your dinner?
broccoli, green beans, not too much of carrots, but when I make something with roasted tomato or potatoes.
Potatoes, okay. Yeah, those are all great options. Just more of them would be better, but that'll take some time. And so you think dinner is the main meal that you would have those at?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would like to, because I keep hearing the saying you should have more of your calories at breakfast. So I'd like to find maybe, and I find that if I have a big breakfast, I have a good day, at least in terms of focus and productivity. So.
Yeah, so breakfast, a way to incorporate vegetables. Do you have any ideas for that? How you would do that?
Not really. I was hoping maybe you'd have some
ideas.
options.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Something I do personally is I make omelets. So that'll get at least 1 serving of vegetables in there. And I don't have a lot of meat in my omelets. I use onions and peppers and broccoli and that sort of thing. And I use an egg white substitute instead of regular eggs. Does any of that sound appealing to you?
The omelets definitely sound
omelets,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, tomato, green peppers, something.
Yeah, that would be great to add. Just
onion too.
Yeah, with your egg and your bacon. If you still are eating that bacon, which we can try to add some substitutes that are on that list, but if not, we can kind of ease our way out of that. Or we can still incorporate it in the diet as long as we're making these healthy substitutions.
That sounds good.
Yeah, so if you made an omelet with some of those vegetables in there, that would definitely fill you up and keep you ready for the day with all your exercise that you're doing.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Okay, and how about fruit? I heard you said you graze on some fruit sometimes.
Yeah, I'll make the occasional smoothie too.
Okay, yeah.
Which is good in the
Smoothies
morning,
are great.
but I feel like I could definitely do a bit more of that.
Okay, so that's something you'd be willing to try?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I'm going to write down a few of the things we're talking about, and at the end of the discussion, I'm going to have you sign your own waiver saying that you'll make some changes in your diet. It'll be completely focused on you. It's just something that I found with patients. It motivates them to work towards a goal.
Okay.
Do you think that's something that would work out for you if we write something down? It'll be more of like a formal contract with yourself.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so we talked about adding some vegetables and fruits. And so for vegetables, you said breakfast, you'd want to add them because you want a bigger breakfast.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So we talked about scrambling eggs. And did the egg white substitute sound like something you'd want to try, or you want to stick with those eggs that you eat in the morning?
I've heard some stuff about they're not sure whether or not eggs are really the cause of high cholesterol, or at least aids with high cholesterol. But I mean, I wouldn't object to trying it.
Okay.
But,
Well, that is something you can try because the cholesterol is in that egg yolk.
Yeah.
And so the recommendation is that you have at least, or as few as 3 to 4 servings of eggs in a week. So if you're eating a lot of eggs in the morning, it might be beneficial to substitute with the egg whites if that's something that you're willing to try and would enjoy.
Yeah.
But if not, I don't want to.
I mean, I'd be willing to try anything to
Okay.
bring down the cholesterol. So.
Okay. So egg whites is something we'll try, and we'll set a number to that just for this week, and we're meeting again next week. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll try it for this week. How about? What do you think would be a good goal for you for this week with the egg whites?
With the egg whites, I guess maybe go back or maybe alternate days with
Okay.
the eggs and the egg whites just to see how it goes.
Do you think that's a realistic goal for this week because it's so new? Do you think you'll be able to do the
maybe
alternate days?
I'll just try maybe 2 or 3 times this week.
And you think that's realistic? For
Yeah,
you?
I think
Something
that's
you
realistic.
can do? 2 to 3. Okay. Okay, and then with the veggies, we want to add them. Do you want to do the same and try 2 to 3 days a week because it is so new
Yeah, sure.
for breakfast? Okay. And then with fruit, do we want to make any sort of fruit goals? The egg substitutes and adding more fruits and vegetables in breakfast. I think that's a great goal for this week. What do you think?
That sounds good to me.
Sounds good?
Yep.
Okay, and it sounds something like something you could achieve?
It's more than reasonable.
Yeah? Okay, so breakfast is our main goal for this week. And we'll add those egg whites, you said 2 to 3 times this week. And if you don't achieve that goal, that's okay. This is our first meeting. It's not the end of the world. Don't give up. And we'll meet again next week. We have the vegetables, the fruits, and the egg whites. And I'm going to have you sign here just for yourself, not for anything that's binding or anything like that. It's just something that I've realized works with patients, and I hope it works with you. So,
Yep.
all right. It was very nice to meet you, and I
You
hope
too.
everything goes well with your, let me grab this back, with your hockey and your tennis and everything, and
Yep.
we'll
Yep.
meet again at the same time next week.
Yeah, thanks for
All right.
seeing me.
Sounds good. Thank you.